could quit now, or we could keep going. We could live all the lives with the shoes untied. If we don't look down, there's no way of knowing. We could leave town, get out of the city. We could pack all the things that mean something.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Boone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Grayson Foster. Grayson describes himself as a Nashville-based indie folk rock artist with a passion for timeless music, gripping films, and laughing at himself and his friends. He's a singer-songwriter and began his solo career in Nashville in 2019 with his first release, I'm Supposed to Love You. He is originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. Grayson, welcome to Conversations with Nicole.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here.
It's really great to have you. I love your setup, your studio there you have in Nashville. So tell me your story and how your love for music began and how you are looking to make it to the big time. How did all that start?
Oh, I mean, just like most other passions, I guess, it started early on. I was always musical as a kid. I think I got my first guitar when I was 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Started taking lessons. But it wasn't really until like the reward of attention from females and other things came into play where I was really like, man, I need to get good at this. And into high school is when I sort of discovered you could write songs. I'm not that I knew you could write them, but I guess I didn't really like know how that came to be. And I
Mhm.
kind of started writing a few. And then these group of people came to our school and had like a seminar on songwriting, and I took it and was like really blown away. And then when I left high school for college, it all kind of compounded, and like more opportunities were there to actually like really dig into the creating and making of music. And that's kind of when it all really made it like an impact on me, and was like, this
Yeah.
is what I need to do with my life. Yeah.
Starts to click, starts to kind of fall in place as to what you are enjoying in life and the direction you want to go. So describe your music and the songs you've already released.
So they've definitely changed a bit over time. The first song I put out, "I'm Supposed to Love You," I would probably classify it as more of like a folk or folk rock song. They all have pop elements in them, just because that's the type of songwriting that I really like. I like lyrics you can understand and that are like on a broad basis that a lot of people can relate to. I like to write relatable music. Um, but more recently, I've found that my sounds, I'm getting a little more quirky with the sounds that I like to use, and a little more digital with the production as opposed to just a live band.
Sure.
I used to predominantly write my songs and then go to a studio with a full band and sort of arrange them the day before that day. Whereas now I'm usually working with producers over like 3 or 4 week periods with a bunch of different songs, trying to see what works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's an
So
interesting
that's,
process, it sounds like.
yeah. And I'm sure other creatives either stick to what they know, or also kind of uh, tweak with it a little bit. And I kind of like the tweaking aspect, because different parts of my life, I feel like I feel differently, and I want to convey that. And there's different ways to do that.
I think that's all about your experiences in life. And so when you start to experience more, you want to share more. And probably that comes out in your music, I would think.
Yeah, no, it does. And I'm sure you can see, like, I had a very happy, privileged childhood. So a lot, and then I have a loving wife and a lot
Yeah.
of great relationships. So a lot of the songs that I write are about feeling good and being happy. I've got a few that are a bit more sad, but that's, there's two sides of every coin.
I love the happy stuff. We need more of that these days, Grayson.
I do. I love the happy stuff too, but I will say that I think my most favorite songs are sad songs.
Is it? Well, probably because it's just like, oh, somebody's got,
Yeah.
we've all felt it at some point, in some way. So what are the songs that you've released after I'm Supposed to Love You? And what about future songs?
So I did like a pop tune with my buddy and neighbor Austin Cannon called "If I Lost You."
Yeah.
The most recent one I did, it's probably one of my favorites. It's called "Cash Money Honey."
Okay.
We just put out a music video for that as well. You should go check that out on YouTube. You can check out all the music videos that I've done on YouTube
Sure.
and all my music on Spotify. and Apple Music. But let's see if I lost you. Um, I've got a song on there that we wrote. I wrote with my buddy who was in a college band with me called "Why Do I Need to Be Drunk," which is sort of like a rock and roll song.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but that's
Yeah,
funny.
I don't know. It's not a cry for help, I promise. We were having a fun night and we wrote it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, talk about being in Nashville. I mean, you are among so many people that are trying to make it to the big time. Your goals and dreams are so similar. What's it like competing with other artists, and how do you work to maybe make your work different so that you are noticed? I'm sure that's challenging, but maybe also fun.
Yes, so that's a big thing over here. You'll see that I say my solo career as an artist started in 2019. Well, I graduated and moved to Nashville in 2017. So there's a 2-year gap there. And
Right.
basically, that 2-year gap was a trial and error period of me arriving, thinking that it was going to be, just like everything I'd done, where I was sort of like one of the talented music kids in high
Yeah,
school, a talented music kid at college. And
sure.
then you get here and it's just the talent is all
Whew,
over the place.
off the
And
charts. Yeah.
so, yeah, I spent a lot of those years playing some shows and making some realizations of areas I needed to get better, writing some songs and sending them to people and getting some feedback that, while it wasn't like, hey, are you sure you want to be doing this? They're just like, this is, you're a ways away from being in the top levels of songwriting and recording. Um, so yeah, I was just had to work really hard for those 2 years before I felt confident enough to really kind of say like, all right, I'm starting and I feel like I'm there now.
Well, and I think the thing is, you can't give up. If that is your goal and that is your dream, reach for the stars. Don't stop.
Yeah, and it's good if you enjoy it too, because then
Yeah.
the shortcomings just feel like bumps in the road.
Yes, you have to have passion and joy what you're doing in order to be successful in that aspect as well. I want to talk a little bit about your time at Clemson University. You had your band with your friends. It was called the Dipping Skinnies. You talked about the song you just wrote with one of your former band members, but talk about your time at Clemson as a student there and having a band. That had to be a lot of fun.
It was a unique experience, because we for the last 3 years I was in college, which I did 4.5, so I guess the last 3.5 years I was in college. Um, we were playing shows pretty much every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, number one, it was just an absolute blast. Number two, it was a good way to make money.
Yeah.
Um,
All
and
college kids need money, Grace.
right, and then number three, like we actually, we sort of progressed fairly well, I would say. We started out as like playing mostly covers and songs that I had written a while ago.
Sure.
And then we started the process a little more with writing with the band, and eventually went up to Nashville one summer and made a record, which also was a big moment when I was like, if you spend 4 or 5 days with your friends working on one thing, you butt heads, you get mad, but it's an experience because you're creating something. It was like
Yeah.
8 or 9 songs, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and I was just kind of from then on addicted to that process of of just
That's-
like sticking, like going after it for a few days, and that's all you're concentrating on.
yeah.
I started a film company over COVID with my best friend since uh, pre-kindergarten, named Will Branner. It's called Dog Paw Productions.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've been working on a lot of short films and half feature right now, and that's
How
kind of
fun.
the same feeling I get because the first one we did, we went up to upstate New York and recorded in a log cabin during like a blizzard for 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool.
I was so sad when I was glad to come home to see my wife and my cat, but at the same time, it was hard leaving this like environment where we had been, like just nonstop creating something that we thought was really cool.
Well, I'm sure the vibes, the creation, I mean, all those creative juices flowing was really inspiring and a lot of adrenaline rush as well, I'm sure. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I have a question. So,
Okay.
how did you come up with the name The Dipping Skinnies?
As I remember it, I think our
As you remember it,
yeah, our
that's
guitar player Matt Crisp was predominantly the one sending out random names. And there's a Dave Matthews song. We played a lot of Dave Matthews because it was a
that's
college
good.
band. There's a Dave Matthews song called "The Tripping Billies," and for whatever reason, that like made him think about the Dipping Skinnies, like it was like a reverse, like a
Yeah, it's
slight
like skinny
reversal,
dipping, but dipping skinnies. Yeah.
right? Um, and we just kind of liked it. There was one
It's
summer.
fun.
There was one summer where we started to notice that everyone just started calling us the Skinnies, and we
Mhm.
almost changed it officially to
Oh.
that, but instead we kept the full name and just we had a little nickname as well.
Today, that would be hashtag the dipping skinnies. You know how that would work.
Yeah, it would. Maybe it's still alive. I don't know. Maybe one or two posts out there.
Maybe I'll start it.
I still,
Restart.
yeah, I still look at the data every now and then. There's parts and time of the year. I think it's maybe when my friends get together or like something like that. But
That's
the plays go up a little bit.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, listen, this conversation has been a lot of fun. Again, tell folks how they can find your music and this new company you started, which I didn't know about. That's wonderful.
Sorry, yeah, should have mentioned that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's what these conversations are all about, finding out information about people and their stories and how they can learn more about them. So about your music, about your new company, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, so you could always just start by Googling Grayson Foster. If I did my job right, hopefully my website comes up. You can check out a lot of fun stuff on there, music videos, links to music, links to some new merch that we've been working on. You can find my music on all the streaming platforms, so on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google, all those.
You're
Um,
everywhere.
yes, it is, and I love that.
Good.
And then for the film stuff, unfortunately right now, all of the stuff we've finished is in festival circulation. So it's not
Okay.
publicly available right now.
All right.
But when it is available, you'll find the links to that on Dog Paw Productions on Instagram is predominantly where we promote that.
You have a cat, but you called it Dog Paw Productions. Your
Yeah,
cat's gonna feel a little bit slighted on that.
they are, but short story, just to explain that real quick.
Yeah.
Will Brander, my buddy who started that company with me, I went to Clemson and we had a Clemson speaker camp come in one day, and he explained to us that the logo is actually not a tiger paw, but an Afghan dog paw. And he had a very Southern accent. So my
So
buddy
he
Will,
said pow, not paw.
yeah, dog paw. So
Dog
ever
paw.
since then, Will has just been super attached to that name, and I have too.
That's great. That's a great story. That's everything has a story is how it comes about. Well, Grayson, it's been a lot of fun to talk with you today. I wish you all the best. You're already on the right track. I hope you'll come back and have another conversation with me down the road when you release a new song or you get any films out there that we can share with the public or anything new that's happening in your life. I know that my viewers would love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. It was so awesome to talk to you and to talk about those things. Those were awesome questions. I loved answering them.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time. And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until we see you again, we hope you have a great day.
We could quit now, or we could keep going. We could live all the lives with the shoes untied. If we don't look down, there's no way of knowing. We could leave town, get out of the city. We could pack all the things that mean something, take a ride to the other side, and maybe won't many. Tongue lash, all gas, both feet on the dash. All thrill, no frill, we can make it last. Say what you wanna say, we pay our bills in cash money, honey. What to do now? Stomachs are rumbling. There's no restaurants or food trucks. If we're down in our luck, I'm sure we'll think of something. Tongue lash, all gas, both feet on the dash. All thrill, no frill, we can make it last. money, honey, cash money, honey, cash money, honey.